back to my channel and welcome to today's video. So today I thought I would do another bake at the table with me. I love baking, I also love answering your questions. So every now and then I sit at the table, I bake something good whilst answering your questions. It's kind of like just a little catch up together. We're all just sitting around the table. So I actually found a recipe on Janes Patisserie. You guys actually introduced me to her blog and Instagram. And ever since I've been hooked because she has the best stuff. And I decided to start with her cookie recipe, her New York City chocolate chunk cookie recipe. They are ridiculous. I made them a couple of weeks ago and I've decided to make them today in today's catch up because you have to know about them. I will link the recipe, method and all of that on her blog down below so you can go directly to that after you've watched today's video. So if you are new, feel free to subscribe. I make 3 videos every single week, all about living your best life on a budget, and I specifically like food, so if you like food you might want to join us. Anyway, I've got everything. Oh, I haven't even introduced you to a new member of the family. I've got a KitchenAid. I feel so ridiculously lucky. I feel so grateful. Getting a KitchenAid was actually on my bucket list, like my lifelong bucket list, and I got one this year. And I just can't believe it. I did actually get it for my birthday and it was a present from my wonderful, beautiful soul partner, soul life mate, Lawrence. I'm so grateful. Like, it's just the best and it makes baking so much more fun and so much more easy. I will link this exact KitchenAid down below if you want this colour. It's definitely very much a massive investment, but everyone who I know that has a KitchenAid, like in my family and things, have had one for like 20 plus years, so it's a long-term investment. But yeah, I'm just so happy with her. What should we call her? Anyway, name suggestions down below for the KitchenAid. Get cozy and let's get on with the questions and the recipe. So with this recipe, you need 2 types of sugar, light brown sugar and white sugar. I'm going with light brown sugar and golden granulated sugar. I'll also link this down below because this is ridiculously affordable, but so helpful. The first question I'm going to answer today, and it's one that I received so much of, so I thought I would just answer that one as a whole. And it was essentially asking me how I am I doing okay, and like what are my tips at dealing with grief and things like that. So a little backstory: in March this year, pretty much 3 months ago to the date, my dad passed away unexpectedly. That kind of turned my whole life upside down. Do you know what? I still don't know how I am exactly, but I do know that it's not as bad as like the first few weeks. The first few weeks was, whoa, I mean, I couldn't see straight. I feel like my grief comes in waves still. It's very much like ocean waves. I definitely I'm sad about it at least once every day, but then some days I'll be like so sad that I can't stop crying and I can't stop feeling like this is so unfair and I'm so angry on behalf of my dad. Like, he deserved to be here, he deserves to see me like get married one day and have babies. So I feel like all those things are going to be really bittersweet for me. I'm so annoyed that my future kids can't meet him. Like, I did get to see him be with my niece and nephew, so that was great because he doted on them. I suppose I'm still going through the first of everything. Like, my birthday was really difficult. I didn't vlog or anything on my birthday. It was really difficult. Lawrence made it really special, but it needed to be just like a nothing day because it was just so weird him not being here. I've had a lot of messages from you guys who said basically it's just not to expect it to be gone, but expect the grief to be further apart and to be like extra hard on special days for the first time. So that's kind of what it is. Like, my birthday was really hard. Father's Day is coming up, which I can't bear to think about. I'm trying to get to a point where I can think of him and feel happy again, and I'm getting through until I can start going to face like grief counselling. I might benefit from it, I don't know, but also because it was so unexpected, I just feel like maybe I need it. I do have a tree. If you haven't seen, I've got this amazing cherry blossom tree in my garden now, in a lovely pot, and it's got his ashes in, so he's growing through the tree again. That gives me a lot of what's the word, comfort, because I know he's growing into life again, even if it's in a tree. So I know when I'm feeling like really sad, I can go outside and just sit next to the tree and I chat to the tree. I know he's happy where he is. I've dreamt of him once that was really difficult. He said to me that he's happy, and I know it was him. That's how I'm dealing with it. I'm also listening to podcasts. I will leave down below my recommendations of podcasts. But thank you so much for asking, and yeah, it really means so much when you ask how I am and like you care about me, because I don't feel so alone. And also Lawrence has been amazing. He's got me through like absolutely everything. I couldn't have done it without him. Anyway, so I've got my 175 grams of sugar. I'm gonna pour that in here. And 125 grams of unsalted butter. Oh, I love doing this. Grateful. So in with your sugar and butter, you add an egg and then beat that, and you also add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I will answer the next question now. What is your go-to comfort food meal? I love that question. I would say either like a really creamy curry, like a proper creamy, like very highly calorific curry with naan bread and onion bhaji and everything like that. Just something that will make me feel so stuffed afterwards. That's one of them. Also, beans on toast with grated cheese. You cannot go wrong when you're unwell with beans on toast, or like Marmite on toast and tea. Oh, Josie Carter asks, breakfast, lunch or dinner? That's hard. I'm going to say, do you know what, breakfast? I'm not gonna lie, lunch is not on the cards. Isn't that interesting to me? I'm gonna say breakfast. Like dinner is definitely second, but breakfast, oh my gosh, the possibilities are endless. You can literally start your day with a pudding. You can literally start your day with chocolate chip pancakes, and it's acceptable. I'm gonna go with breakfast on that one. 300 grams of plain flour. So Hayley's Home says, what is your favorite thing to bake? Good question. Do you know what? I just love baking in general, so that's really difficult. Do you know what? This actually surprised me. One of my favourite things to bake is biscuits. I think because they take a little bit more effort, and you get to decorate them, to add like different spices or flavours in depending on what you want your biscuits to be like. So I'm going to say biscuits. But then again, I love baking something that rises. So anything that rises, so any kind of cake, I like to bake because I like... What's going on there? Okay, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and half a teaspoon of bicarb of soda. So I had a couple of questions like this. 2021 baby. I don't know. Like, I'm not pregnant right now. That's all I'm gonna say. What are you planning on baking with your new KitchenAid? Oh gosh, so much. Cookies, cakes. I tell you what, we've been doing quite a lot actually, and Lawrence has been doing it quite a lot. He's been really enjoying baking cheese scones. By the way, is it scone or scone? It's scone in my opinion. But I've never tried cheese scones before in my life, and actually they're really nice warmed up. Someone said, if someone gossips due to insecurities, are they still a bad person if they realise it's bad? Ooh. I'm gonna say no. Wait, add half the mixture, beat, and then add half the mixture again. That's just how I do it. I think it's good if you realise it's a bad thing to do. Everyone gossips every now and then. Everyone's got an opinion to say. But I think when it's like bad gossiping, it's like when you're just pulling apart someone when there's no need to, when it's got nothing to do with you really, what they're doing. It is a reflection of yourself, because you're just insecure, so you're just trying to like bring other people down. It's amazing that you can outrightly say, I've done it because of insecurities, because a lot of people won't do that. They'll deny it's insecurities. They'll deny it's because they're jealous, or they'll deny it's because of this or that or the other. It's like a truly happy person just doesn't do it. Like they don't do it. They're not mean about other people. So it's great that you can admit that, because clearly there's something about you which is confident, and you know, actually, do you know what? That's not right, and I was feeling insecure that day, and that makes you not a bad person. You're not a bad person anyway. I don't know. Everyone's gossiped in their life. I went to an all-girls school, like blooming heck. I know what gossip is. There's a limit. Just like bring yourself back, work on yourself, just keep bothering yourself about yourself. You shouldn't be that bothered about anybody else, really. I mean, you can be bothered about Black Lives Matter, you can be bothered about racism and inequality. You can be bothered about oppression, certain people because of the colour of their skin, or you can be bothered about animal cruelty, you can be bothered about women's rights. But if you're feeling like you just want to rip someone down for the way they look or something like that, then yeah, recognise it, try and pull yourself out of it, because it will never ever 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 make you feel better about yourself, ever. It just won't. So yeah, it's a good question though, and I hope you're okay. That's like a proper cookie dough now. The thing you do is add 300 grams of chocolate chips all together, and it's up to you. I do actually add just dark. Oh, okay, I'll have one. Okay, I'll have two. Oh, okay, so Rachel Squares of Life, she asked, do you have any Walt Disney World trips planned for the future? Sob sob. Let me just get out my mini violin. So fun story. Lawrence and I were going to go on a last minute trip to Florida, and we were supposed to have already been there in May. Booked it really last minute. I had the worst year of my life with what happened with my dad, and we were thinking about doing it this year, but you know what? After that happened, I kind of just was like, let's just go. I just want to go. I just want to get out of this country. So that didn't happen. So we prolonged the holiday to June, July, but basically because of what's happened, I don't feel completely comfortable going in July. And also basically they're in a current phase where they're expecting everyone to wear a face mask at all times, which is like completely understandable, and it's for the health and safety of everyone. I don't know, I've been to Florida many times, and the heat there is something else, and I'm just not sure how much I will enjoy my time if I feel like there's a mask on my face all the time. It would just take the magic away, like especially with they're closing some of the rides and the attractions at like Universal and Walt Disney World, so we're going to prolong it either to much later this year or next year, because there's a couple of like logistics we need to sort out. So yeah, bit sad. That is a lot of chocolate chips. Oh my goodness. Is anyone else in the same boat? Did you book a holiday and can't go? Do you have any siblings? Are you close, and how are you all doing? I do have a sibling. I have one sister, and yeah, we're very close. We're 4 years apart, and she's older than me. Son and a daughter, which means I have a niece and nephew. And yeah, we're very close. Like, we're doing okay. She's doing okay as well. We're both just like coasting the wild ride of 2020. Because obviously, like, my dad is her dad also. But yeah, I feel like the whole COVID-19, but self-isolation mainly, a blessing in disguise for me and my sister, because we were forced to like stay at home. The world wasn't normal for us anyway, because we just lost our dad, so it felt like it wasn't as much of a shock to us, like this whole thing. And yeah, it felt nice just being able to just hide indoors. Also, her children being off school I think was nice for her, because it was a good distraction. It's going to make 8 cookies, so roll them into 8 massive balls, and you actually put them in the freezer for 30 minutes. Don't ask me why, you just do. Okay, so Budget Book Lover asked, favourite book you've read so far this year? I'm gonna say, well actually someone who follows me on Instagram recommended that I read The Five, and oh my gosh, it's such a good book. It's just so interesting. It's like a look into history, and I highly recommend it. It's really good. It's basically about the lives of the 5 women who were killed by Jack the Ripper. So it's like a little bit heavy, but it's not about their murder, it's about their lives. So yeah, there's like a good history about them, and some of them lived like really sad lives, but it's also really interesting to have like a bit of a look into what London was like back then. Have you ever struggled with body image issues? Greetings from Finland. Hello in Finland. Yes, I actually have, very much so. I think I've spoke about this on camera before, I'm not sure. An eating disorder for like 10 years, I would say. 10 years. It started when I was like very young. So yeah, I did really struggle, and it's probably one of the most misunderstood mental health issues. People just assume you're doing it to be thin, and yeah, that's part of it, but it's actually stems a lot deeper than that. Okay, so I've got my 8 balls here, looking good. I think they're looking great. And then what I do is put them in the freezer for at least half an hour and then let the oven preheat to 180 degrees. Okay, here are the cookies out of the freezer. They've been in the freezer about half an hour, so they're pretty firm. Now these go straight in the oven. You don't need to let them thaw out or anything. I'm actually only going to cook 2 and keep the other 6 in the freezer and just take 2 out at a time when and where we fancy them. With these particular cookies, trust me, 1 cookie each is enough. So I'm gonna put them in the oven. You have to wait and see what they look like. They're ready. Just to let you know, they go in the oven for about 12 to 14-ish minutes at 180 degrees. And then you have to let them stand for about 30 minutes after because they continue to cook. Let me just show you the middle of these cookies. Holy moly. Look at that. Just one massive, soggy, cookie doughy cookie. Favorite thing right now? I need to like bake healthy things. Are there like healthy bakes you can make? Because I can't be making this once a week. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed today's chilled out video. I really enjoyed filming it, to be honest. I hope you're well and safe. And yeah, I will see you again very, very soon. And I love you very much. Bye.